All right, whistle while you work. We are in the Freedom Lab. I'm Jam at Peaceful Media, and I got my man Max DeBowie right behind me, kicking it with the Adidas gear, getting ready for Pilates. Got my sister Kara over here, just working every single angle of running a business. Looking good, Kara. Very happy. Good hair. All right, so you aren't here to hear about the people who are in the Peaceful Media office. You are here to create some freedom in your life. And if you've been following this journey, you know that this whole show is based around creating freedom for my buddy Jimmy Ferris with an online business that was automated making money, and also helping people. So those are the two things that most of our online business entrepreneurs want to do, is create an impact in people's lives by sharing their message, their expertise, their story, inspiring people to be better in the simplest terms. And then on the flip side of that, generate income that allows for we all to create some freedom in our lives. And if you're joining me from the Renew You tribe, where I just spoke down in San Francisco, welcome again. If you caught the last episode, that was kind of what is going on with this show? It's a little different than what I expected. But you remember me talking about what freedom means, and why would we go through all of this work to go and build websites and write emails to people and shoot videos and create lead gen magnets and all of this stuff that's involved with building an online platform and a marketing system? Why would we do that? And the one word answer is freedom. To expand on that is to own a kingdom. The two DOMs that we talked about in my talk in San Francisco. But let's unpack that just a little bit. And maybe you can write this down. I don't know if you have a journal nearby. I know in my journal, I'm constantly writing down and circling my big rocks. And what I see in there a lot of the times is I am trying to create more time freedom so that I can spend more time with my daughter and my wife, who's 16 months old, not my wife, my baby. So I want more freedom. And so I had to start shifting gears, adding new things to the universe that will allow for that freedom. And those aren't symbols necessarily. They aren't the Bentley that we talked about at Renew You. They aren't a big fancy house. It's the little things like dropping off of work maybe a little bit early at 4 instead of 6 or 7 to go over to the fountains. That's freedom. And so for you, it's going to be a little bit different. And I'd love for you to share that either in your own journal or in the community over on our Facebook page. If you search for Freedom Lab Show in Facebook, you'll see the whole community there. It's a growing community. And I'm excited to see that because I know that there are people out there who just haven't had the deep dive behind the scenes look into how to do this with an online business, how to just do like some of the nitty gritties that will allow you to make that first dollar. You know, for some of you, I would say most of you, you're doing something else for income. You're trading your time for income. And maybe you're happy with the job, maybe it's super fulfilling, but I would venture to guess that most people spend 50% at least of those careers or those work days in quiet desperation, or at least 50% of the commute to work in quiet desperation, wishing that they could have a place to freely share everything that they know, that they love, and express themselves in ways that are 100% in alignment and authentic. So I'm practical. You got to have that income, but I also want to optimistically generate the freedom of self-expression, creativity, and income in other venues that you own, your own kingdom. So that's the whole spirit of Freedom Lab. And as you know, if you've been following this journey, we started with Jimmy really trying to build a 100K brand. It was a great hook for this season 1 $100,000 in online business revenue within just 33 weeks. And as of episode 7, we decided to part ways on this show, and Jimmy's going to go and launch his business a little bit differently than we were doing in the Freedom Lab. And so episode 8, you heard me say, we're going to have a big pivot here. And I'm getting a lot of clarity on what the Freedom Lab will be and should be to help this community. But I'd also love to hear what you'd like to see. What would be most helpful for you? Maybe a simple hook of, I'm going to show you how to make your first $100 with an online business. For many of you, that would be an incredible feat to see your first $100. I know that there's a lot of programs out there that you can pay for that'll teach you exactly how to go from 0 to your first $1,000. And I know, speaking from a personal experience of building a business, just a business in general, not necessarily an online business, it wasn't until I had made like $10,000 that I realized I had a business. So for many of you, earning some money, some income to something besides your what I call your main hustle, your main job, or your main income source, earning something on that side hustle that validates you and gives you that fuel to go and continue building to the point where it can replace your main hustle easily, peacefully, without ruffling any feathers of your spouse or leaving the good organic meats out of your shopping cart when you go to Whole Foods. I want you to continue to have a lifestyle that you like, while also doing the things that you love most, whether that's speaking, writing, designing, creating online courses. So that's I think that's where I'd like to go with this show. Is I'll create a new season basically, and show you, and basically we'll go on a journey together to create the first $100. Let's just call it that, first $100 online. And in the interim, I will probably show you exactly how I'm going to launch one of our courses here at Peaceful Media. I just thought about this on my way in today. I was like, what could inspire, what would be most helpful for people who really do want to make this? They're passionate about going to an online business model. And I think what I would love to do is just show you behind the scenes of exactly how we at Peaceful Media are launching our own course this fall. Launch 31, we did the beta launch in the spring, and now we're really tinkering in it, adding some cool new features and some new value inside of it. And then we'll go ahead and package it back up and launch it again. And I want to show you exactly how I'm approaching that from a strategic and tactical level, so that eventually when you're ready to go and launch your own courses, whether there's a $1 course, $7 course, $197 course, or a $2,000 course, you'll know the basic framework, and you can follow my strategy if you'd like. Very few people who do this digital marketing online campaigns just show you exactly what they're doing in real time. And so I think this would be really useful for you. So those are two things. We'll have a season 2 of making the first $100 with a brand. I'll pick a brand that I want to expand. Maybe it's someone from our community, maybe not. I have to decide if I want to go into this with a partner again. But and then in between, I will show you, if the timing works out, I will show you how we launch a product here at Peaceful Media. And then just so we can call this season complete, because we verified, we had a good long chat with Jimmy this last week, and we decided that, yep, this is truly a big pivot, and Jimmy will no longer be on the show, and it's a good deal. It's a good deal. It makes a lot of sense for him. I believe in what he's doing and why he's doing it, and his vision is just a little bit different than what this show is meant to do for him and the audience here. So no harm at all whatsoever, no problem. So what I will do though is put a bird on it, put a bow on season 1 by just concluding, because I kind of left you hanging there on episode 7 of here's how I would lay out your homepage, and I'll show you exactly how I would go do that if I were going forward with Jimmy's brand. And I'll do that on our platform, the same platform that I'm teaching people to use and build sites on, so that you can kind of see that it is a lot easier than it used to be. And I would just say that it's a no-brainer for anyone who's getting into this without an extreme coding, design, web development background. But if you haven't heard, I just got to share, a little bit of Portland vibe here. If you haven't heard of this, we're going to put a bird on it. I don't know if you know where that comes from, but I'm going to share my screen and show you a quick little YouTube, and then we'll jump into building out that homepage.
Birds on things. Today we're going to go to a store on Mississippi Avenue. Nothing has birds on it. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to put birds on things.
Spruce it up. Make it pretty. Thank you.
Put a bird on it. Putting a bird on this teapot. It's a bird. Bet it's flying all over the beach.
What a sad little tote bag. I know. I'll put a bird on it. Did you see this bag before? I didn't. Now there's a bird. It's flying. It's free.
We put this bird right on this card.
It's so pretty.
You like that, ma'am?
Fantastic.
This is so funny.
Putting a bird on toast.
Put a bird on it. Look at this. I just saw this bird right onto the pillow.
Oh, you Mrs. Pop.
What are you doing? Watch your fingernails.
What about the bird?
Am I bleeding? Ma'am, am I bleeding?
No, you're fine. Stop looking at her. She's fine.
I know she's fine. I'm not.
Put a
bird
on
it.
I'm painting a bird on a bird.
My eyes. Straight up got dust right in my eyes. Just paint the bird or whatever it is you need to do, and then don't blow on things. What?
Okay, so you get it. I'll go ahead and keep the screen share going on so that you can see my screen as we go over here and build. But we're going to put a bird on this season 1 with this episode number 9. Here we go. So what we talked about in episode 7 was the 7 R's. And the 7 R's are resonance, relevance. What are the 7 R's? I got to remind myself. Resonance, relevance, think reason to trust, which could also be reputation. I should switch that up. Reputation or reason to trust. Reason to believe, which is a video that shares in a more sensuous way everything that's being communicated on the page. Routes, the 3 routes that someone can take based on where they're at in brand awareness and trust. And then registration. And I know I'm leaving the 7th one off. I got to go remind myself. But registration should be on every single page, whether it's an email registration or a payment registration. So this is built out on Squarespace. I'll go ahead and show you behind the scenes. Remember, I'm going to build one sort of a mock-up homepage in the background of the thoughtleader.website. You can always go over here to thoughtleader.website. This is our demo site for Launch 31, and take a peek at what we have built here. I'll let you explore that. But this is a new homepage I'm going to plop on the front of thoughtleader.website, so you don't see this behind the scenes. If you just land there right now, it's /home-20 right now. But let's go ahead and load up a new page, a new home page that uses those 7 R's of influence in as much as possible. And this is going to be for Jimmy's brand as if we were moving forward. So that blue chip mindset, just as a reminder, it's a blue chip mindset. Helping the XYZ is I'm helping high school athletes to become the irresistible recruit so that they get the scholarship to the university or college that they've always wanted to attend. So, and in that episode, we talked about having this nice background video, showing a montage of Jimmy's progression from skinny little Pop Warner, white dude in Idaho, small town Idaho football, all the way up to playing with the Tom Brady's and Michael Vicks and other cruel NFL celebs. Okay, so showing that progression right behind a big headline that just hits our users. So it's not our users, our visitors. I am in the right place. So in the dumbest, most straightforward way to communicate that, this is in the relevant section. The headline is for relevance. It's I'm in the right place, would be something like get the scholarship of your dreams. Get the athletic scholarship of your dreams, to be more clear, right? Just like we did for an Orageur. Promote some of our clients here who also picked a super specific niche. Oops. Super specific niche. Well, don't want to show you analytics. Ace my audition to get into the best music schools. Ace my audition. So he's a pianist who has an expertise in auditions, musical auditions for universities. So he has built a whole business. Look at that niching. He's built a whole business on a micro platform. I will help you ace your audition, not to become the best musician. No, I will ace, not to get into the best school. I will help you ace the audition. That's great niching, and that's why he's already super successful in his expert thought leader platform. Okay, so thoughtleader.website. This over here would be for Jimmy. It would be that video background. So let's just go over to YouTube real quick and put a bird on it, and find a video of football. How about recruiting letters? So here's that image that every young high school athlete wants to see. I don't want that sort of story to start out. The craziest recruiting mail I've gotten.
I had your name legally changed. Dolores.
Okay, let's just play along here as if this is the one.
I just had the.
That's definitely not the image I want to start with. I'm going to play along here and assume that all this is a nice video of a box with overflowing letters. Okay, so that's a video you would want to create. Don't get fancy about it. Shoot it on your iPhone or your Galaxy S7 Edge if you can. So that's the video we'll put in the background of our new homepage for Jimmy. So what I'm going to do is I'm inside my pages. I'm not going to give you a thorough, extreme tour of Squarespace. I'm going to go fast, but this is exactly what Launch 31 teaches you to do. So what I want to do is duplicate this Home 2.0. That's the one we were looking at. Scroll down, duplicate page, confirm. Okay, and this is Home. Let's just name this one Blue Chip Mindset. Okay. Out of the box, it's going to have a duplication of what was already on the other page, but it's replaced my headline. I'll go ahead and modify that right now. Let's go ahead and modify that banner first. Drop it in that other video. Right? I can speed it up. I can blur it. I can do all sorts of things to that video once I've pasted in that YouTube URL. I'll go ahead and 2x it. So I'm increasing the speed. Now let's go, and so I've also placed a dummy image that has a mobile fallback. That's the image I want. It's just all these letters. Probably going to start pulling these letters out, showing the Notre Dames, the Florida States, the University of Oregon, right? All right. Okay. So perfect. That's what I want as the image. Now let's change that headline. Get the get your, I'll show you how to get your dream athletic scholarship. Okay, that's it. We'll just make this an easier URL if you want to go check that out later, home dash blue chip, and then let's save that. Let's go back over here. I'll show you how to get your dream athletic scholarship. Nice. Cool, so I have that blur going on so that it's not competing with the text. That is nice right there. Perfect. Okay, cool. If I had my choice, I would cut off the front end so you don't see that sort of confusing image of the basketball player. Okay, so now I'm going to need a some reason to trust. Reason to trust would be, let's see. Reason to trust. I think in Jimmy's case, I would probably, I don't think he can technically legally use NFL team logos. But that's, if I had my druthers, that's what I'd say. But what I can do is say it with text. I went from skinny white kid in small town Idaho to catching TD touchdowns from Tom Brady. I don't know if that's exactly accurate, but it would be something along those lines. Catching touchdowns from NFL quarterbacks. Let's just broaden that a little bit. Now I show young athletes how to do the same, how to get the blue chip mindset that makes you an irresistible recruit. Makes you irresistible to recruiters. Boom. Every high school athlete or junior high, whatever it is, anybody who has ambitions to go to college and make it to the pros, or just take that next step in their athletic career, wants to be an irresistible recruit, gives you options. So that's a nice little, it's a sort of a, it's creating trust, but it's also creating distinction. And I think that's exactly what the seventh R was, refinement. So here's what I mean by this. This is where the fun of nuancing websites comes in, where I get a lot of creative excitement around this. So when I give you a framework like having the 7 R's, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have every single one laid out the same way that I show you in, say, a PowerPoint slide. This is great for this brand. It has the 7 R's, but you don't have to lay out. Let's say you don't have logos, or you can't use the logos that represent where you've been trusted to speak or be or been seen at. In that case, use text. But you'll also notice I'm going to blend in my refinement. Refinement means that I want to clearly distinguish how I'm different. So this tells me this tells the site visitor I'm in the right place if this is what I'm looking for, or this is what I'm experiencing. I've lost my fire. I'm an executive. That's okay. So that's me. I'm an executive. I've lost my fire. So this is what they offer. This is their proposition. okay, for people who have experienced this, who are this and who've experienced this. Then, okay, great, but there are thousands of brands and companies and people out there doing the same thing. So what I want to do is make sure that I have some refinement, nice piece of text. So this is an example of refinement here. Cutting edge mindfulness tools. That right there alone is different than, I would say, 95% of coaching for executives, right? Maybe 90. It's becoming very popular. Then I'm including a so that, so this is what I use. This is who I'm helping, disenfranchised executives. And what the payoff is to fall in love with their work so they can passionately lead their teams to greatness. Okay, so the same thing I'm doing over here. What I'm doing is I'm merging. I have reason to trust because, hey, this dude got to the NFL. That's right there. That's cutting. He's played in the NFL. That has cut out 99.9% of other people who are teaching young athletes how to get the scholarship of their dreams to the college, right? So that's refinement. And it's reason to trust. So you see how you can start blending these things. Don't feel like you have to be super strict with a framework that someone teaches you. Blend things, find the right way for you. And then this is the proposition. Now I show young athletes how to get the blue chip mindset that makes you irresistible to recruiters. Okay, so right here, this is in this section right here. I would not have a video from Tony Robbins. So let's change this content in this page by editing the page content and replacing this video. So I'll show you how easy this is. I'm just going to, again, this is Squarespace. Add a new video. And let's go ahead and just pretend like football, let's see, NFL player. How about NFL college? Let's show college football player. So fastest. Okay. Okay. Well, this wouldn't be exactly what I would drop in here.
This is a base camp.
Okay, that's nice. This isn't exactly what I'd drop in there. Nevertheless, let's assume that it's a video of Jimmy talking to camera. So he's sharing his story to camera and how this has inspired him to help others. But it's also interweaving some clips of him playing in college, some of the highlights from high school, perhaps, that helped just sort of, again, entrench that he's a pro at this. He's gotten to levels that nobody believed or not a whole lot of people would believe on the surface that he'd be able to achieve. And so further demonstrating, look, if there's anyone who can teach you the blue chip mindset of becoming an irresistible recruit, it's me, man. So we'll just drop this in as an example. Let's see. Okay, cool. I don't want this spacer here. I don't want this spacer here. Okay, nice. Okay, then remember we talked about having routes. And remember, this video is reason to believe. So it's when I say reason to believe, it should have some emotional resonance. It should speak to something other than my logic. It should speak to, wow, what an inspiring story. Wow, I really feel like this dude's looking out for me. I really feel a connection. That's, if I could boil this down, you want that resonance of, I feel a connection. I trust this dude. Okay? So that's why direct to camera works really well, interweaving anything that helps further entrench that trust. Then it's routes. Okay, cool. So here, let's talk about that user experience. I landed. I found out that this is for me. I felt an immediate resonance, that first R, because it's showing this imagery, this video of something that I want really bad. It's using language that matters a lot to me, that sparks some emotional response to me, whether I'm a high school athlete's parent or the high school athlete themselves. Then I'm doing that nice refinement / reason to trust, then reason to believe with a video. And now this person has decided, I'm ready to go to the next level with this brand. And I like to look at it as you're going to have three basic types of visitors. One, very bottom of your brand step or ascension is someone who's just brand new to you. They don't know exactly what they want from you. They aren't 100% sure about you yet. They want to feel you out more, and they want to get more free content. They aren't willing to invest or jump through any hurdles, right? And that's where I show them the get the latest advice. And where that takes them is to the blog. Okay. The blog is where I would be posting my YouTube videos, my podcast, my articles, or my quote cards even, right? That's my place for seeing my song, for sharing my expertise freely. Okay, and so this, by doing that, as you know, if you've been into content marketing, by doing that, you've further established your authority. You've given more entryways to your content, so creating more attention to your brand, and ultimately helping people all over the world who are seeking and searching your expertise, right? Or your inspiration. So that's the easiest, no pain, no hurdle, no cash in exchange. So I put that over here as the third route. My first route over here is the next step up the ladder. And this one's going to involve an opt-in. Now, in this case, in Jimmy's case, I would have a guidebook. I'm not going to go all the way and show you how to design the LGM yet. Maybe that's in a later episode. But how about a simple guidebook, five reasons why coaches overlook athletes. Ooh. So this guidebook, super simple, maybe 2 pages, 2-3 pages, shows them just at a high level, here are 5 reasons why coaches are overlooking you. I should be clear. College coaches overlook athletes, overlook recruits. Right? Super specific. This guidebook does not need to be intense, but the point is someone is going to click this button and get an opportunity to opt in by exchanging their email. Let me show you the scenario real quick. Get the guide. Great, give me that guide. On this page is an opt-in. Okay, cool. No, there's nothing else to do. This is a classic landing page. Only one thing a user can do, and that is to decide that they want this guide. So I'm going to download free. I put my email address, and it gets sent to me. Now I'm now on Jimmy's list. I'm now I've now given you permission to market to me, to send me emails, to basically to come into my inbox, right? So a person would opt in, go check their inbox, and there we would have the guide. Okay, so let's go back. And then in this scenario, I would say, let's say Jimmy doesn't have let's say that the monetization, this third route is the third step up. Someone trusts you, they like you, they know what you do and what you can do for them. Now they're ready to buy. So if Jimmy's monetization plan were a private coaching package, which he could just start right now, right? You can work with me for the next 8 weeks. then I would keep this right here. Find your coach. No, it wouldn't be find your coach. I would edit that. Work with Jimmy. And I'll go ahead and remove all this. I know. Let's just say Jimmy Miller. Okay. So Jamie Miller. How about Jamie Miller? Yeah. Jamie Miller. That's nice. Okay. So this would go to a page where someone can learn more about my coaching program. That's my monetization plan. Then further establishing reason to trust. And then finally, that 7th R, registration. So in this case, I would have a newsletter opt-in for once a month, maybe once a week is better. Once a week, I'll send you one tip to increase your irresistibility to recruiters. Okay, so that's an email. Again, that person will give you permission to come inside their inbox. All right, so that's how you would go and incorporate this onto your Squarespace. But you can apply that knowledge to any of your sites out there, whether it's WordPress or any other platform. Again, this is something I teach you very like step by step for every single page that thought leaders need on their websites in the Launch 31 program. You can join the wait list for Launch 31 by going to Launch 31, as in the numbers 31, launch31.com. Join the wait list. I'll send you a survey, and you can tell me how I can best create this next version of Launch 31 just for you. I do read all the survey responses, so be prolific in there. And in the next episode, I think our bird is officially on season 1 now, and we will officially jump into season 2. You can opt in to all upcoming Freedom Lab episodes. Join in live. Here, let me switch back off of this screen. Stop. You can join us live at freedomlabshow.com, and our Facebook group is just search for Freedom Lab Show in Facebook and come and join us live. I'm constantly chatting with folks in here, interacting. You can ask your questions. Help me make this as relevant as possible to you and your business growth, and so that I can create more freedom for people. All right. So I'm Jam at Peaceful Media. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Send me feedback, all you want. I want to hear from you. I'm Jam at Peaceful Media. Until I see you next time, remember to love more, play more, and do more good, and get your damn freedom going. All right. Peace.